It's the international break. We have nothing to talk about, but still somehow we'll put together an episode. Welcome to the Corner Flag. I'm Amogh.
I'm Mukesh.
And you have to say
And I'm
dude.
Mukesh. I'm so used to.
How?
And it's like, you know how in class, when you're in school, you practice what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And then when the teacher actually calls your name out, you mess up. I think it's that.
It is that.
So I was practicing before. I was like, oh, don't forget to say and
This
I'm
is the
Mukesh.
last thing you need to be practicing. This is like simple syntax.
Oh no, I practiced for everything. Except for, actually today I came early also.
Yeah, you did. We're going to take that again. It's the international break, It's the international break. We have nothing to talk about, but still we'll make an episode out of something. Welcome to the Corner Flag. I'm Amogh.
And I'm Mukesh.
What do we talk about, dude?
What do we talk about?
I think international breaks are the worst periods of time in the football calendar.
Yeah, I think it's just 2 weeks off. Don't get injured.
Yeah.
It's actually the time that turns me most religious.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, Shirdi Sai Baba, please don't let Trent Alexander-Arnold get injured.
Although I would put this out there. If the international games started at a time that was good for the Indian subcontinent, then we would probably watch those games.
Oh, really? I wouldn't even watch them.
Really?
I heavily dislike international footballs as they are itself. I'm like, just come once a World Cup and then that's it.
But so you'll at least watch like the major tournament. You'll watch the Euros. You'll watch the World Cup.
I think Euro also is a sham. Why do we need to know the king of Europe? Like what do we do with that piece of information? King of the world sounds great.
Yeah.
But Euro sounds like, I don't know, lame. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of international at all because I feel like it really injures most of the players.
Yeah.
Because of bad tactics, bad prep.
Yeah.
The first I hate is friendlies. I'm like, oh my God. So you're saying this is pointless.
Yeah.
Like, if a club organizes friendlies, I understand because it's for whatever, like preparation, etc. But international friendlies and tournaments, I'm just like, just leave it.
There's an interesting thing that I heard of, like when an international break comes out, and this happened this break also, where I think it was Northern Ireland or Wales, I think, who had only one qualifier to play, because in every international break you have like 2 games, and some teams have 2 qualifiers, but some teams have only one qualifier. But because they have only one, they are legally obligated to play a friendly to make up that blank day, which is just fucking pointless.
Oh, that's so pointless.
As if like we really aren't playing enough football.
Yeah, also there's 2 things that it does for me that I don't like. One is of course, it breaks the illusion for me that football is between clubs, which I don't like. Right? Yeah. I don't want players to meet each other and be like, oh yeah, James Maddison and Trent are hanging out with friends. I don't want that shit. I want them to hate each other because they're from different cities.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. And I think because also we're from India and we see cricket is such a nation-driven sport, right?
Yeah.
Even if IPL is there, it's still a very nation-driven thing, and the World Cup seems to be happening now. I don't want that flavor in football.
Yeah.
It's like I don't come to Bombay to have rasam. It's like I want pav bhaji. I'll have that here.
Yeah.
So that's I don't like international football.
I love the line that you said. The World Cup seems to be happening right now because there seems to be. I think there's a major international sporting event happening in our country.
Yeah, I don't see anything happening.
Yeah, it just seems like the most boring cricket World Cup ever.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like it's boring when the most interesting thing about the India-Pakistan match was the fact that Speed showed up and called him Virat Kohli. Like that was to me the most epic thing. It was such a boring, dull match. So
is Speed his name, or is that the drug that he's constantly on?
No, the drug that he's constantly on is called he has own something called Prime, which is the energy drink.
Oh really?
So it's called Prime Energy Drink. Do you know what the acronym is?
No.
PEDs.
PEDs?
Yeah, like performance enhancing drugs. And it's Prime Energy Drink. So I think that's the code.
I have no idea what these guys...
Guys, this is what international break does. I spend a lot of time on Twitter reading garbage.
Yeah.
Another reason why I hate international breaks is because okay, all of us spend a lot of time on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, let me get an academic opinion on some football thing. and we all try our best. And then at some point, you'll see some garbage football opinions.
Yeah.
And I feel like they just breed a lot more during international break. Like, I swear people are like, I think JJ Okocha is a better footballer than Mohamed Salah. And I'm like, yeah, what are these garbage takes?
But I do feel like JJ Okocha is a better footballer than Mo Salah.
Oh my God, the garbage takes begin at home. All our enemies are at home.
I'm glad you read my tweet. I thought that was not getting enough engagement, but at least one person saw it.
One person, yeah.
No, but as somebody who's not seen JJ Okocha play,
actually, I haven't seen him play.
Exactly. If you would have seen him play, at that point, Bolton Wanderers was like the team, dude.
Oh my God, really? Is people like you?
That's
Dhyanchand ke zamane mein hockey bhi kya khelta?
that was the time when Sam Allardyce was the king of English football. You know, that's where he made his name. But I mean, I completely agree. Like, I have no idea what to do during international break. My wife is very happy because I get to spend weekends with her. And she's like, I have never been through this before.
It's so weird because weirdly during this international break, when I've taken a break from football, my girlfriend has taken up football very seriously by watching the Beckham documentary.
Oh, nice.
Which I have not seen.
You have not seen it?
I have not seen it. I've seen goal and I was like, that's enough. That's all the football. I'm like, I want to see football as a sport. This documentary. I'm like, why? Oh, Beckham is a human. Wow, really? The guy with the millionaire life. Do I need to know he's human too? No. Let him be the guy who movies are named after.
I mean, to be fair, yes, it is a massive PR exercise, but I still feel like it was a well done documentary.
I'm sure it's excellent story.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'll leave. Like, it's okay. Beckham being like this god of fame in this weird way. I know being that figure, being a fantastic figure is enough. I don't need to know more. What happened behind the scenes? Oh, he was boot was thrown at him. Or Alex Ferguson was like a father to him. I'm like, okay, I don't need all that. Like, do you really need all that?
No, but okay, I'll tell you what.
He fought with his wife, and that's why he didn't score a goal against AC Milan. Yeah, oh wow, great. Like, I don't know, it doesn't seem as interesting as a footballing story to me.
No, I completely disagrey. I feel like, so, I mean, growing up, when I started supporting Manchester United, David Beckham was in his prime at Man United, right? So,
what is the period of your growing up? You're like, when I was growing up, Maradona was a great player. I know, when I was growing up, Beckham. Actually, now when I was growing up, Mbappe is the best player.
Yeah.
Amogh's growing up period has been going on for 30 years, guys. Right?
When I was growing up, Ansu Fati was just getting through at Barcelona. No, I started watching football. I started supporting football just around 99-2000, right? Like around the treble winning season. That is when David Beckham was breaking into the first team. And 2003 I think 2003 is when he left Man United for Real Madrid. So I remember 2001, 2002 when I was like properly following Man United. David Beckham was the star player at Man United. And I mean, as a kid, I must have been 15, 16 back then. As a kid, you wanted to emulate this guy. Like, you wanted to be this guy when you were out playing with your friends, right? Yeah. I spent so long trying to grow my hair. And wear that fucking headband that he used to wear when he had the long hair. You know, that was a look. I tried so hard to do that. Then my friends made fun of me and my mom slapped me. So I had to cut my hair really fast.
Much like probably Sir Alex Ferguson slapped him.
Yeah, but Sir Alex Ferguson slapped him for shaving his head. Like, I think the parental figures in the UK are very different from the parental figures here. No, so you wanted to be that guy, right? Like, and I've always been a Beckham fan. And of course, as he's grown older and he's done some unsavory things. I mean, not that he's like done criminal things, obviously, as a lot of footballers have done. And they say you never meet your heroes or etc. etc. Even Beckham has, like, for example, his endorsement of the Qatar World Cup bid was, I thought, very, very tone deaf. It was very obvious that he was paid a lot of money, and he said, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. मेरे को इतना बड़ा mansion है, उसका तो property tax भरना पड़ेगा भाई.
And if there's one thing Beckham knows better than any footballer, other than say that era taking free kicks, is how to make money.
Yeah.
No footballer, I think most footballers should just go to him for, like, he should financial consultancy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that's the big difference between James Ward-Prowse and David Beckham. Both can take excellent free kicks, but Beckham knows how to run a business and a brand. No, so I feel like I always loved him when he was in his prime, and even when he went to Real Madrid and then LA Galaxy and PSG and AC Milan, etc., etc. Even in his Man United career, his England career especially, the number of times that man was made a scapegoat by the British media, and we know what British tabloid journalism is, right? Like, and we are seeing it's gotten maybe slightly better. Of course, we can't really say because we live in India, but back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, British tabloid media was a fucking cesspool of negativity. Like, they just needed somebody to point the blame on for whatever shit that their national team was doing, however badly they were performing. And Beckham was made a scapegoat so many times in his career. He's had so many downs in his career that him rising from those ashes has been unbelievably amazing. Every time he's had a massive setback in his career, the way he's bounced back from it has been spectacular. And I think the documentary puts focus on that so well. Like, there was that time, and you haven't seen the documentary, but you might remember in World Cup 98 when he got sent off against Argentina because Diego Simeone fouled him and it looked like Beckham kicked out at him. And Simeone made a meal out of it. He started rolling around and acting and etc. And he got sent off. England then lost that game on penalties. But the British media put all the blame on David Beckham, saying if he hadn't gotten sent off, we would have won the game because he was such a good player for the English team. Even the manager of England at the time, Glenn Hoddle, publicly threw David Beckham under the bus and said, yeah, like, if he hadn't gotten sent off, like, that was a mistake and he shouldn't have done that. He pointed it out to the media. He used his name and said, yeah, David Beckham should not have gotten sent off. And the whole thing was, yeah, but you fucking got to penalties. You should have scored all your penalties.
Yeah.
It's not Beckham's fault that you couldn't score your penalties, but it was still Beckham's fault in the eyes of the media, in the eyes of the people who lived there, because effigies of him were being burned. He was being booed every time he played for Man United by all rival team fans. He was being booed by England fans when he played in qualifiers. But he comes on against Greece at Old Trafford, where England need a draw to qualify for the 2002 World Cup, I think, or was it Euro 2000? I'm not sure. 2002 World Cup or Euro 2000, one of the two. And he scores that spectacular free kick. And it's not just that free kick. Throughout the game, from the moment he comes on, he's just chasing down ball after ball, putting in the tackles, putting in the hard work. You can clearly tell that he's the most hardworking player in that side of 11 that England have put out. And he then scores that free kick. Like, it's magical. Like, you can't write a script like this.
Yeah.
We're both writers and we would love to write a script like this. Where at Old Trafford, at the home ground of the club that he plays for, the club that he's supported all his life, he gets to do the thing that he is known for, that he is incredibly good at. And that, in the dying moments of the game, gets his team to qualify for the next tournament. And this is on the back of everybody booing him. And that's just a fantastic story. And even in his Real Madrid career, even his Man United career, all the ups and downs that he's had, or rather all the downs that he's had, the meteoric rise that he's shown after that is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm sure the Beckham story is excellent. I still don't watch the documentary.
You don't want to watch it?
I'd rather watch the highlights of his old games and probably watch some interviews. But I will say you have made a compelling case, so I might watch the pilot.
You please watch it. You know who directed and is narrating it? Was the guy who was asking a question.
Wayne Rooney.
No, it's not Wayne Rooney. It's Fisher Stevens. Do you remember? Have you seen Succession?
Yes.
He's Kendall's right-hand man in Succession. The really mousy-looking guy who sorts out their private jets and all. That guy. Or if you remember, I think season 1 or season 2 of Friends.
Okay.
He's Phoebe's boyfriend.
Oh, that weird guy.
The weird therapist guy who comes and analyzes all the other friends. And then everybody hates him. That guy is the one who's directed this documentary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds... I don't know, I feel like that's a cool crossover.
Yeah.
And I'll probably...
I think genuinely it's really well done. Of course, there's interviews with Florentino Perez as well, which is fantastic.
Oh.
So, it's a lovely watch. It's a fantastic watch.
Maybe a compelling case has been made.
Yeah.
And I've found a football thing to watch during international friendlies.
I think
in the Cricket World Cup.
I think for the next episode, you need to get your girlfriend in because she's watched the documentary. She's more of a football fan than you are.
She's watched. She knows these names better.
What was she saying about what was her thing about
She
the
likes
documentary?
Alex Ferguson was really mean to him. I was like, that's true. He was a hard coach.
He was a hard coach. Right. Sticking with England though, they played a rotational 11 in their friendly against Australia in this international week. Of course, they play Malta, I believe, or was Malta, Croatia. I don't know. International football again. Who gives a fuck? But they played a friendly against Australia. They played a rotational 11. Sam Johnston was in goal. Ollie Watkins up top. Lots of names: Lewis Dunk, Levi Colwill,
Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish came on later. He wasn't starting, but lots of players who are not good enough to be starters for England were starting the game, like Levi Colwill, Lewis Dunk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jordan Henderson. You know, the fringe players.
The French players.
Fringe players for England.
I'm very happy. I hope no Liverpool player ever plays for their country, probably except Mohamed Salah, because otherwise Egypt will collapse or something. I don't want that
No,
to
but
happen.
Trent played for his country.
I know, but I hope it in the future also it never happens. I hope he's permanently deemed unfit for England.
Ollie Watkins got the goal, but Jordan Henderson was booed by some of the England fans. And he was asked about booing. He was like, yeah, I don't care. I mean, it's their opinion.
He's really not done the exit well.
Yeah, but then he was asked, do you know why they would boo? Like, no, I don't really know why they would boo. Then he was told, it's probably because you're playing in Saudi Arabia. And his response was, if they're booing because I'm playing in another league, it's up to them. No, Jordan. No. That's not why they're booing. They're booing because you were supposedly such a big ally for the LGBTQIA plus cause when you played for England at the World Cup in Qatar. And then you went and played for an equally oppressive, if not more, regime in Saudi Arabia. So, the fuck.
And
that's
also,
why they're booing you.
And also, honestly, if he had, I think we've said some version of this, that if he had just said, listen, man, I need the paycheck.
Yeah.
And you got to pay the money, you'll play for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you come back.
Yeah.
I'm still an ally, but I got to do this for my family. I still feel like you would have come out of this making the fans look unreasonable.
Correct.
But I think to be like, I want to develop a football culture. I'm like, don't make it seem like an exchange of equal culture. Like, don't make it seem like you're like a foreign student going for an exchange semester or something. You're not. Yeah, so don't make it like that. Like,
you're going there for the tax-free money.
I respect what Sergio Ramos did, right?
Yeah.
He was in Real Madrid. He was in Real Madrid. He went to PSG for 2 years or a year for a good paycheck. Then came back to Sevilla. He didn't rush to move to Sevilla.
Yeah.
He made the money. He made all the extra money he could squeeze out of his career.
Yeah.
Now he's going on playing for the boyhood club and
with
great.
a pay cut.
And with a pay cut. And he's doing the noble thing.
Yeah.
Everybody understood him. No, he didn't say anything which Jordan Henderson didn't have.
Yeah.
Because he's also fallen out of favor with Liverpool fans because he's been talking bad about Klopp and the management during interviews and all of that. So he's clearly not.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're competing with Dominic Szoboszlai. Like, there's no way you're going to get X more time. So
I mean, I completely agree. Like, I don't agree with football players in their prime going to Saudi Arabia to play, but I understand their decision.
Yeah.
And that decision is money. It's fine. Like, if you offered me that kind of money to go and do a job there, I'd fucking do it. Because, home loan marna hai, man. Sure.
Yeah.
So, but then
I'd work in a blood diamond mine, I think.
Yeah, like, but don't don't say, oh, I'm going there to change the culture.
Yeah.
I'm going there to make change. I can talk about these issues off the pitch. No.
No, you can't. I dare you.
You can't and you won't, because what you're doing off the pitch is supporting Saudi Arabia's bid for the 2030 World Cup.
Yeah.
So, you're basically, and he said that I'm not going there to be a mouthpiece for the Saudi Arabian government. But yes, Jordan, you are. That's essentially what you're doing. So it's just sad how tone deaf he's become.
No, you don't become the mouthpiece, you are the mouthpiece.
Yeah. I mean, he has a massive mouth to be fair. Like, he's a massive fucking mouth. Sticking with England, Harry Maguire was also in the squad. He didn't play. He was in the squad.
He didn't even make it to the fringe players this game.
He's a starting member of Gareth Southgate's 11. He was given a due rest.
He was given rest,
yes.
correct.
He was given a rest so that youngsters like Lewis Dunk, who's 30 by the way,
and Jordan
Henderson could be given a chance. No, but he was asked about his failed move to West Ham, and we spoke about this when this was happening, when the transfer window was on, where and you made the joke where he's the first guy who's decided to stay with the sinking ship and not go and revive his career at West Ham, because we all agreed that him under Moyes at West Ham would be perfect. Like West Ham is his level of a club, Moyes is his level of a manager, and he can do a job and he can really get his career back on track at West Ham. But when he was asked about this, he said that the option just wasn't there because there wasn't an agreement between the two clubs. So it really wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. I'm looking forward to the Harry Maguire documentary.
Yes.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Which tells us the story in detail.
Absolutely. But I don't think it's going to be that compelling because...
To it like Harry Maguire. That's the name of the film.
Headed like Harry.
Headed like Harry.
Slab-headed like Harry.
Slab-headed like Harry.
Slab-headed like Slarry. I don't know. But I feel like...
Hudda it like Harry.
Yeah,
that's the
one. No, but he did say that the lack of game time is obviously not an ideal situation and that he will have a chat with the manager when the time is right and explore.
When the time is right?
No,
How much more time?
He said
better time than
he said he's currently focused fully on his career with Man United and helping the team, which is great. As a Man United fan, I'm very happy.
He should be ready to play any role because not only are the players injured, I'm sure they'll be like, to bring in a Liverpool reference, much like Liverpool 2 years ago, United have some 1,000 players who are injured.
Yeah.
And it's a sinking ship in terms of they're clearly out of depth the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Barring literally the last game. There is no better time for him to turn up than now. So I don't know what is the right time. What is the right time?
No, the right time is probably
between
in the winter transfer window or between seasons, because when the transfer window is open, that's when he can go and be like, all right, boss, you're not playing me enough. I am available, I'm fit, I'm training as hard as I can, but I'm clearly not in your plan. So can we figure out a move? Whether it's on loan, whether it's a permanent move, let's figure it out then. But right now for him to bring that up would be ridiculous, because what's going to happen? We're nowhere near the transfer window. Let him. And he also knows that he has some sort of opportunity right now because Lindelof's in bad form. Varane's injured. Martinez is injured. So there's literally nobody else. Unless Ten Hag decides to play Scott McTominay at centre back. Yeah. There's literally nobody else. So it is time for him to really show what he can bring to the team. If he can solidify the defense, if he can find a little bit of his form again. And then when the transfer window opens again or when the season ends, you can have that chat with the manager and see what the deal is, and maybe the clubs can.
Oh, you're an optimist.
I am an eternal optimist.
I love it. Sure. This is what I love about you. Let's go.
I am the antithesis of Akarsh.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm the stable one in this podcast. I love it.
No, that's Prashant.
The one who's never there.
The one who's never there. He did say that he is open to a move though. So, and on the basis of that, West Ham apparently are ready to restart negotiations for Harry Maguire.
That's excellent.
If the injury crisis at United continues into December, there's no chance he's going this December.
Yeah.
Because it would be stupid of Ten Hag to let him go. But maybe this is his last season as a United player.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel okay. If he resumes his form, if he gets back into form, then I might feel a little weird, because I feel like he can be a decent squad player. Definitely not a starter, definitely not a captain. And both those issues have been solved by Ten Hag. Not starting him, not making him captain. But I feel like when you have...
He had an assist.
He did have an assist. Exactly. So he can do something with that gorgeous, massive head of his. So, unless we get like 40 million... at least for him.
40 million. Wow. This is so much optimism.
Andre Onana was 51 million.
I need a break from this optimism. This is too much.
51 million Andre Onana. 40 million Harry Maguire.
A young Champions League finalist goalkeeper who pretty much almost nearly gave them the clean sheet.
Almost nearly doesn't count.
1-0.
Balls go through his hands. When you're playing video games, sometimes there's a glitch.
Yeah.
And, like objects just go through your player. Like that's what happens to Andre Onana when he's facing shots. So, Oh, David De Gea was in Manchester, by the way, speaking of Man United goalkeepers.
Oh, you think he's coming back?
No, so he was in Manchester for a little bit. He met up with Sergio Reguilon for dinner. He went to watch the
oh my God, is he going to pull a Tevez?
No, he went to watch the United women's team play in the WSL. And he said, let's go United women and all. And he was in the stands for that. Fucking amazing to see him do that. But then basically the report was that he just came to pick up some things from his house and leave again.
He's clearing out. He's clearing out.
Yeah, I think he should have just gone home and just taken his Player of the Season trophy as his golden glove and just like walked past the United dressing room.
He should have taken Onana out for dinner.
Yeah, like just hey Andre, you want to go out for a meal or what? I'll just park my car. By the way, you want to just see what's in the boot, like all these trophies, like clean sheets and all that I've kept. Cool, all right. What do you want to eat? That would have been absolutely fucking great. United, by the way, there's an update on the ownership.
The update is that there is no update.
No, there is an update. The update is that Qatar is not investing in Man United. Sheikh Jassim's bid has been withdrawn because they could not find an acceptable value with the Glazers, which is weird because Sheikh Jassim was offering $2 billion more than what the Glazers were asking for.
Man, why don't these guys ever find Liverpool attractive? I don't know.
I feel like he might go for Liverpool now.
I hope someone does.
But I don't know if John Henry wants to sell.
I just give him enough money to be like, 2-3 transfer window ke liye thoda paisa de do bas.
But see, again, this is exactly what the Glazers are doing. The Glazers haven't gone for a full buyout by Sheikh Jassim. Instead, they're selling 25% of the club to Jim Ratcliffe.
Yes.
So now it is a weird situation where the Glazers are still going to be involved and are going to be majority owners of the club. But apparently, Jim Ratcliffe will have full and total control over all footballing decisions.
Yeah, because I think even I was reading somewhere that you don't need to actually own 51% to own a club.
No.
Like even with 25%, you can pretty much control.
It depends on how the deal is structured.
Yeah.
If the deal is structured in a way that even with a minority stake, you have certain things that are entirely in your control, then
and
fine.
Doesn't Jim Ratcliffe already own some French club?
Nice,
I think, right?
Yeah.
Ineos.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be nice to have some nice, like, I feel like when clubs have like one distinct identity, it's always nice. Like Liverpool currently has one like a Dutch identity. Like there's a Dutch person in the defense, there's a Dutch midfielder, there's a Dutch striker. We had a Brazilian sort of a spine with Firmino and Fabinho and Alisson. Yeah. So it'd be nice to have like one nice French, clean, all-round football at Man United. It might really help the club.
I don't know if that's going to help the club because the Glazers are still going to be 75% owners of the club. Secondly, I think the United identity right now is that there is no identity. It is the identity that confuses everyone.
It's true multiculturalism.
Yeah, it is all over the place. And I just feel like this takeover or this buyout or this minority sale is just going to make things even more complicated and even more confusing. Because again, I don't know if Jim Ratcliffe is going to be a good owner. I don't think he's at that point where he can compete with
Tony
the other
Bloom
clubs.
Even.
No, Tony Bloom is a completely different league altogether because that's a mid-table club fighting for Europa sort of mentality, which is, one could argue, where Man United are.
I mean, like no, he going to be taking pot shots at Brighton.
No, but I feel like with the way global football is going right now, it's just the nation states that are dominating global football, right? And you need to have that much money in the bank if you want to go toe-to-toe with them. Obviously, the Qatari ownership would have been a little problematic. I don't know enough about Sheikh Jassim and his connections to the Qatari royal family, how that works. If it's going to be an actual Qatari buyout like PSG, or if it's a private citizen from Qatar who's buying a fucking football club, because I guess that happens in that part of the world. Like, हम लोग कांदा बटाटा लेने जाते हैं, वो लोग football खरीदते हैं. So I feel like
also it'll be epic if you're getting the most garib person of the richest people.
Yeah.
He's like, I just so you're not Qatari. I'm just a guy, man.
Yeah. I'm just a dude. Like, wait, I'm not rich, dude. Why do you think I'm buying Man United? I was rich at by Real Madrid. No, what are you doing, yeah? Don't do like this.
Unlimited funds, you're mad or what? I just have one well, dude. That's it. Go with the bucket and come out of the oil. That's it.
It's not like we are like dealing with trillions here. Only billions. We're very modest middle class people.
Middle class billionaires.
Yeah. They have those Danish cookie boxes at home.
Yeah.
You know, Indian middle class families have those Danish cookie boxes.
The one box that you got, which is not there. Forever.
Yeah, but like every time you go to an Indian middle class household, you open the Danish cookie box. It's never Danish cookies. It's
supplies. Yeah, supplies.
But the Qatari middle class is the same. Every time you go to a Qatari middle class person's house and you see a box of Danish cookies, you open, you won't find Danish cookies inside. You will find fucking billions of dollars
And
inside.
gold biscuits.
Gold biscuits inside. So it's kind of the same. We relate on a very middle class level.
At a middle class billionaire level, we understand.
We completely fucking understand. Wayne Rooney, let's talk about more Man United stuff, because unless you have any United stuff to have, non-United
this
stuff.
is excellent. Yeah, it's like, unless you have United stuff. Enough about me talking about United.
Yeah. Do you have any United stuff do you want to add to this episode?
Sheffield United. No, I don't like to say.
Please talk to me about Sheffield United, dude.
Chris Basham had a bad injury.
Oh fuck, that was terrible.
That was a terrible injury. I hope he's kind of recovered in the sense that he's stabilized, but it looks like career ending.
I wouldn't say that, only because it's just sad when an injury like that happens and ends somebody's career. Yeah. I still hope that even if he's out for 12 months, 16 months, 18 months,
at least a season.
There's something he can come back to playing, and he can do the thing that he loves, because that's just horrific.
Yeah.
I didn't have the stomach to watch
I didn't
the
watch
video.
the whole thing. Yeah, I just saw the recovery photo.
I saw a picture that just popped up on my timeline, and I scrolled right past. I was like, I cannot deal with this. Wayne Rooney, speaking more about ex-United players, because really there's nothing else happening in the world of football, guys, that we find interesting to talk about. Wayne Rooney is back in England. He's manager of Birmingham City,
the birthplace of Bellingham.
Yeah.
Excellent. What do you feel about that? He left for coaching
in DC United, MLS.
DC United, yeah. Then
I think it's a fantastic move. Tom Brady, the NFL player, is a minority owner of Birmingham City now, which is weird because he's going on and marketing the club like it's his club. It's just trying to be like Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds with Wrexham. All Americans are like, oh, football. What's football?
I think they see. Like how if you're from the Middle East and you're a billionaire, you see football clubs as a way to do this is advertisement for me.
Yeah.
I think they see, hey, it's a reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
They see football clubs, oh, that's a reality show.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's a documentary.
That's a documentary that can make me millions.
Yeah.
That's a deal with Netflix.
But I feel like it's a good appointment.
Wayne
Rooney is fairly untested in the managerial sphere.
I mean, he didn't manage Derby? No, he
Derby and then DC United.
Yeah.
But he did a good job with Derby. He was very salt of the earth when he was manager of Derby, especially when Derby were going through a lot of financial struggles.
Oh.
So, he was very, very open to like getting his own hands dirty and sleeping at the training ground and figuring shit out. And I feel like Birmingham also need a manager like that. I feel like, they're 6th in the championship right now. So it's a long season, long way to go, but they are 6th. So it's not a position that they're not in a position of trouble.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Wayne Rooney, it could go either way, but I feel like more on the positive side.
Oh, really? I feel like it's going to be like on the negative side. I feel like he's just...
Why do you feel that though?
I don't know. I feel like it's like going... You don't go from managing in the championship, then you don't go to the US and come back a better manager. That doesn't seem like the kind of career move that I'd place a lot of bets on it being positive. Like it's not like you heard about DC United doing wonderful things. I think I don't know. DC United, they were not creating waves like they were. It's not like it doesn't seem like he challenged himself upwards. Like if he probably went to even La Liga, the second league, right? The second level. And if he was doing exciting things there, I might have, say if he managed.
But see, I feel like he's not an exciting manager like how Arteta or Guardiola are exciting managers.
I'm not talking about exciting in terms of systems. Like you won't necessarily say Simeone is exciting, but as a manager is exciting. But maybe the kind of football that he plays isn't exciting. Or even maybe Eddie Howe, the kind of football he plays isn't exciting, but as a manager, he's still an exciting force. Rooney doesn't inspire the same confidence, and that career move of going from to MLS, it is, I don't know. In fact, I really thought he went to DC United because he's done with managing and he's probably come back as some form of a pundit or some form of studio work because, maybe because he's salt of the earth, he can take these clubs But Birmingham also seems like one of the bigger of the small clubs. Like,
yeah, but Birmingham are also going through a little bit of a financial, or were going through a bit of a financial crisis. So they are also a team.
that explains his appointment.
Massive transition. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right. We did put out a post for questions. So Mukesh, are we ready with some questions? Questions with the corner flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
Yes, we have 3 people have sent us 4 questions.
3 people, 4 questions. Lovely.
The first
Lovely
question is from Noob Clicks, who asks a very a ponderous question, which is, he says, why doesn't Indian EPL fandom translate towards ISL? By the way, I watch all ISL games, #BFC Heart.
I think it's great that you do. I feel like we really need more support for the ISL clubs. Having been to a fair few matches in the ISL over the past how many ever seasons, I can safely say it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
More than watching it on the television, I would urge fans to go watch it in the stadiums because, again, tickets are ridiculously achievable. They're cheap, easy to get. Start going and
safe. I think you should also, people shouldn't forget how safe ISL games are, especially I've been to one in Bangalore, one and a couple in Bombay. They're extremely safe.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely go with like
there
kids
are
and families.
Surprising a lot of families, a lot of couples there. So it is an exciting thing to do.
It is. Yeah.
It's not an all male activity, which probably is the case you can say against EPL.
Yeah.
Where you see a lot fewer women on the
Yeah. And also I feel like a lot of the clubs now, and this season on, this is the 10th season of the ISL. So, it's been around for a while now. It's getting better every season. You can see the updates in quality, updates in how the clubs function. It is definitely getting better. We saw a team get promoted to the ISL for the first time at the beginning of this season.
Yes.
Round Glass Punjab won the I-League and got promoted to the ISL. So that is... The promotion relegation system is also something that FDSL, which is the company that runs ISL, is looking to implement. So the structure or the pyramid of Indian football is slowly being put into place. So lots of exciting things happening there. And yeah, like I was saying, more than watching it on the television, I'd really urge fans to go to the stadiums and watch it because, fuck man, watching live sport is an experience.
Yeah.
And the thing is, watching a live game of football is so good because it is 45 minutes a half. The game is over very, very quickly. It is a spectacular evening out. There's enough to do around the stadiums, in the concourses, to get a bite to eat, get a drink somewhere at a local bar, get ready for the game, go watch the game, and you're back home and it's not an ungodly hour, as opposed to cricket where an entire day is just gone and you're sitting in the heat.
Also, the other thing that I would recommend people go to, I watch ISL games. One is you can watch both. You can watch Premier League and you can watch the Super League. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
But also because I think the last time any of us football fans ever played football was probably in school. Very few of us even take it up at the college level, right? I think watching the ISL gives you an understanding of what professional football actually looks like.
Yeah.
So it really enhances your appreciation of the game that you watch on TV, which I know is definitely at a superior level, but you understand tactics more, you understand space more.
Yeah.
We have a slightly weirdly flat and triangular understanding of football pitches because we see it on a camera that's constantly panning left to right. Whereas I think when you watch it at a stadium, you see the game as a 3-dimensional thing.
Correct.
You understand tactics better. So I think definitely watch ISL games in your local stadiums and local teams.
Also because the amount of Indian football talent that you get to see, and these are not players who are all playing for the Indian national team. There are some incredible young players who are on the cusp of being called up to the Indian national team, and you get to see them play live in front of you. And just start following these guys on their social media as well, and you'll see how ridiculously down to earth all of them are. Like, they are like you and I. Like, they are so approachable. There's no sense of I'm a fucking football star. I've got this much money in the bank and branded content and all. वो नहीं है. They are regular people who are incredibly good at what they do and they're making a career out of it. And as football fans, I think it is our duty to go out and support that.
Yep, exactly. Nimesh Shinde asks us, LFC are looking to replace Salah with Sane. Your POV.
Your POV, don't, because after
So
a long
you
time
won't have
we're doing something with Liverpool in this episode.
in this
so.
episode. I mean, obviously, in football, of course, it's very stupid to try and have like-for-like replacements. Whenever you've tried that, it's football. It's obviously failed to find like-for-like replacements. But I think it's probably as close to Salah that you can get in Sane. He's also sort of Premier League proven because of his stint with Man City. I'm not sure of about the physicality aspect of it, because I think people forget how incredibly strong Mohamed Salah is because of his whatever discipline, etc. So I'm not sure if we'll get an equally physical player in Sane, but you're definitely going to get someone as quick, as rapid, with equal amount of skill to change the game. But yeah, so I think maybe physicality is what I'll be worried about. So I would probably be a little wary, but of course, maybe you can find another player to replace that. You can get a slightly tagda player somewhere behind him to sort of protect him. But yeah, that's what I have to say. You?
I feel like
I hope Liverpool burn and die.
yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. No, I feel like Sane is a very, very good player, technically very, very sound. Did not have the best of times in England with Man City. But he's quickly become a very important part of the Bayern Munich setup.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a kind of player who is so settled in Munich. It's his home country. His family is settled there. I feel like a move back to England for him will unsettle him and is not something that he is probably going to be looking forward to. So I feel like that is the big reason why I feel Sane at Liverpool may not work. Which is why they should do everything they can to get him and sign him just so that he flops.
Yes. And final questions are from Ganti.92, which are sort of related. It says, would you have preferred a Middle Eastern country buying the entire club? Thoughts on Jim Ratcliffe becoming a minority owner? Shareholder at United, good or? He hasn't completed the question. It says good or, and that's it.
And then the second half of the question is bad.
There's no answer. Good or?
No, I mean we did speak about
Yeah.
the Man United ownership. So Ganti, friend of the flag, I think just rewind a bit and
Friend of the flag, but not our friend, because he gives us shit FPL advice so that he wins.
he gives you shit FPL advice. I'm doing fine.
Oh wow.
Have you joined the Corner Flag FPL league?
I haven't. You haven't sent me the link. I don't know how to do it.
Dude, just fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. Fine. Is that it?
That's it. That we're done with the questions.
Awesome. Before we end the episode, we'll quickly just talk about Malaysia for India 2. India played in the tournament is called Pedreka Cup. India played in the Merdeka tournament that is happening in Malaysia. It was a very weird game. Like, both teams didn't look like they were at the races. India had some terrible defensive errors, which Malaysia couldn't capitalize on. Apart from the 4 goals they did score. But the highlight of the moment was Changte's goal that was not given, man.
Yeah, that wasn't given. Controversial.
Very controversial. Like, where the fuck is goal line technology?
Yeah, why? Like, we don't. I think this is where smaller leagues and countries should take initiative. That they don't have to wait. They don't have to wait till a Premier League or whatever takes the lead, right?
Yeah.
That it worked at the World Cup.
Yeah.
It works in cricket.
Yeah.
Right, which is an so I think probably the smaller tournaments should take it up. It was just nice to see Sunil Chhetri score one more goal.
Yeah.
Just, one of the things that puts his name right next to Ronaldo and Messi, which I think is
just keeps on going.
He keeps on going. That was really nice, and it was nice. I think it was about 2. Maybe I think he made it about 3-2, and then so I think he made it competitive.
Yeah, and Changte's goal would have been the 3-3 equalizer.
Yeah.
And if that is given correctly, then that's a completely different game, and we had an opportunity to go on and win it, because then the momentum completely
shifted. Yeah.
Because again, it's not like Malaysia were a better side. Like they were good, but I thought India were dominating wherever we could dominate.
Yes, and I was thinking that India had more possession than Malaysia. They had about 55%. They had about 45%. So I'd like to believe that we were clearly playing better football.
Yeah.
Or at least we weren't worse than them for sure.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a good sign. I guess good sign if Sunil Chhetri scored
Hopefully.
And it's nice that, now bad things happening to us, Like sometimes when you play so badly, like bad referee calls don't go against you because you're so bad. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey man, we're good enough for bad referee calls. That's like, we're rising up.
Yeah. And you call me the eternal optimist. Right. On that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Mukesh on Instagram at
Mukesh Manjunath.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh and Mukesh.
That's because his name is International Break.
My name is not... That's a shit name.
That's a shit name.
That makes no sense. You've lost your powers in this international break.
That's true. It's just boring.
Yeah. You can also find the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@CornerFlagPod. Head on over there for full audio versions of the podcast, plus video clips that we will put out from the episodes. We did a match day vlog when Mumbai City hosted Kerala Blasters in the ISL, which a lot of you have seen. So thank you for engaging with us on that video. More match day vlogs to come from the Mumbai Football Arena and also from DY Patil when Mumbai take on Al Hilal in the ACL on the 6th of November. That's going to be a crazy video. Shout out to Kazat Gharda for composing our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. Say bye, Mukesh.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.